Welcome to another episode of Real BMX Racing, the podcast. Today's episode is sponsored by the BMX Connect, Answer That Squared, Wrenchman Racing, 80 Blocks, 110% Nutrition, Extreme Squared, Artistic Apparel, with a special shout out to Box and Toby Henderson over there. When and how did you start BMX?
My brother started when I was 2. So I hung around the track for a while until I finally decided to ride my bike and started racing at 7.
So at 2 years old, you ride a track?
Yeah.
Okay. And which track was this?
Burlington BMX, North Carolina.
Okay. So the track you are a TO of right now.
I am.
Very cool. So for those that don't know, you are a rider and a track operator.
Yes.
This is something different that we're doing today. Usually we just interview riders. So we never had a track operator on. So this is really cool.
Indeed. So, okay, well, I always like to ask too, since you were riding when you were 7, what was the first bike that you hopped on to race with?
I had a Mosh. It was like tan colored. It was a hand-me-down from one of the family friends. I don't remember anything else about it.
Right.
So it sounds like you don't have it anymore.
No, I think it got passed on to another little one when I outgrew it.
Nice. So what, Jen?
I was gonna say, so what was the first real bike that you had, like a real BMX bike?
That was real.
Was that? I mean, yeah. I'm not familiar with that brand. I guess that was in between the time where I wasn't really racing. For some reason, I thought Mosh was more of a park bike brand or something. I didn't know that was actually racing.
I think they made race stuff at least there for a few years.
I mean, you could be 100% right. I have no
idea. We've been out of the game for like 20 years, so you're telling us something we didn't know.
As far as I remember, it was a race bike.
Okay.
And I don't know what my next few bikes were. I ended up on my brother's FBM at some point.
Okay.
When I was teenager-ish, but between those years, I don't remember.
Nice. So your first race was at 7. Did you win?
No. No, I don't really know many of my stats from back then, but there was not a lot of winning. Oh gosh.
So was it the same as far as like it is now, where you had to race boys, or was there like an automatic girls class? Did you have to race against the boys until you became expert and then race girls?
You could choose. You could start as novice.
Okay.
But then you went straight to, and I don't remember the number of wins. You went straight to expert girl from novice, and they didn't call it expert girl. They just called it girl.
Okay.
So when they added the intermediate for girls, that's when they started calling it expert girls.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But in my area, or at Burlington, there were 2 other girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I started as just girl because I had a class.
Okay.
So I was never a novice. I just jumped in with those other 2, and we had 3 of us there every Friday.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess one of the questions that I've never asked is, when you started to race, was it something you wanted to do for fun, or was it something that you knew you just wanted to come out and be competitive at?
Definitely just fun. I wasn't competitive for the majority of my riding.
Nice. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, like I'm pretty much the same way with it, so that's why I'm like, yeah, it's a different aspect. But then you're like, I probably should get out there and practice. But
yeah. So, have you played any other sports as a kid?
I played in middle school, so just for 2 years, I played soccer and volleyball.
Okay.
But I guess I danced when I was really little, and then my mom was tired of taking me to both sports, so she told me to pick one. I did not pick dancing.
So your parents were supportive from you from day one, because they were already bringing your brother to the track, correct? So you just hopped along and just brought your bike and just, they kept it moving.
Yep.
Did your parents help at the track at all, or?
Yeah, they did a lot. I think my dad was technically president for a couple years. So they were never track operator or anything, but we were good friends with the track operator, and and the one after him and the one after him. So my parents were definitely regular volunteers. I grew up in the concession stand with my mom.
Nice.
In the same concession stand that's there now?
It is not. We actually had over there where we park in the grass.
Okay.
There were two wooden buildings, and they burnt. I think they figured out someone set them on fire. I'm not really sure. 2008, 9, 10 probably. And then the city got us those buildings that are there now.
Really?
Nice. That's really cool.
Yep.
Do you remember your first national?
Not a clue. Not a clue. I went back and looked, you can go to your trophy room.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and looked at my trophy room a little while ago. I should have done it before this. And then I asked my mom, because all I was seeing was like, there used to be pre-races on Friday. And all I was seeing in my results was the pre-race for like years.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, did I not race Saturday and Sunday? And she was like, no, you did. You just didn't make the main.
Oh, man. So does it take you as far back as when you started?
Say it again?
Does the are you talking about like on the USA BMX site? You in the trophy?
Yeah.
You can go back to.
Yeah, I
how
think.
far back does it go?
I don't know. So I started in 2003, and it has my beginning years.
Oh,
But
really?
I think the database stops at some point, probably before there were computers being regularly used.
I didn't know it went that far back. That's
Yeah.
why I'm kind of surprised. Wow. All right.
Yeah. You should check yours and see how far it goes.
Yeah. Well, I called like when I first signed up, when I came back and asked them, what should I do? What should I sign up as? Because somebody told me I should sign up as a novice, but they were like, what are you talking about? We don't even have any records of you. It was that far back, so.
Okay.
And I just came in to go with Vet Pro when I came back, but
Okay. Makes
I
sense.
figured, yeah, but because that's how I get down.
You ride before you can't fool her.
Hey, he's been to the last two Tuesdays.
Yeah, I know. And
Tell you next season's my year, 24.
Yeah.
This is it. So Emily, let me ask you, with your nationals, do you because you've done a bunch of nationals, do you still get nervous when you go to them?
Absolutely. I'm already nervous for next week.
Right?
The big one.
The big one.
So you're going to Grands.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Have you been to Grands before?
Yeah, this will be my 4th.
Okay.
I hope that's right. I think so.
Also, you have some experience at Grands. You know what you're looking forward to. All right. And where are you? Do you stay in like a hotel, Airbnb, RV?
Kind of changes by the year what group of friends I can sneak in with.
Okay.
But I'm staying this year with Bianca from Richmond at a Airbnb.
Nice.
Oh, very cool.
Walking distance to the arena, so that's going to be
really
nice. Yes.
That's what me and Everett were talking about for next year.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's what we're going to do. We're already starting to plan it for next year too, because we're going to be there officially.
Cool.
But one of the questions I wanted to also ask you too was, what do you do with your downtime? Because you've been to Grands before, so you know what to expect. How do you handle it?
She's like, "What's downtime?"
What downtime at Grands?
Yeah, at Grands. So you race your first race, then you got like another 9 hours till your next race.
Yeah. I like hanging out and wandering around, talking to people. Our locals that'll be there kind of scattered around between the teams, so I kind of like to go see people and the kids and distract myself from the stressful racing part.
No,
that's super important.
Yeah. I would say no. I've never been to the show, but I always hear how electrifying it is.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, I gotta go at least once, because when I was a kid, I remember like thinking about how it was and how I would love to go there. And I come from the Orange County YMCA in California, is where I used to race at. So my mom wasn't going to go to Oklahoma for anything. I had to beg her just to go to to the Orange Y when we could do it. So that's pretty much what I did. But I just always in my head was like, that's the Super Bowl. Yeah. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. It is really cool. And then like the all the vendors have like really big setups compared to normal. I think Fly brings the setup that they take to like the Supercross races.
Nice.
So it's really cool in there.
How's the temperature? Is it like how it is in Virginia when because I know with the there's in the horse track, so it was like if it's 30 degrees outside, it was 30 degrees in staging.
It's not quite that bad. Sometimes when you're down in staging, it might be a little cool because you're right there by the doors.
Okay.
But when you're up in your area with your tents and your teams and stuff, it's comfortable. The air conditioning, heat, whatever.
Okay.
Do you feel like you're ready? Do you ever feel like you're like 100% ready for grants? Like I am ready. There's nothing else I could do, or do you always feel like, oh my God, I wish I would have had another week or another?
Yeah, I probably always don't think I'm ready. Especially this year, I'm having some fun racing, taking over the track at Burlington. Not really had a lot of time to really get into the training stuff. So this year's been about fun. I only hit a few nationals, and I'm doing grands because I had a flight credit from last year. So let's go.
Right. So is someone taking your bike up there, or are you flying with you?
Yeah, I've been lucky the few years that I've gone. I've been able to find people to take them. So I've never had to fly with bikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I heard that could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Your bike should be in good hands.
Yes, I think so.
So what are you currently riding?
I am riding on TNT bikes, wheels, hubs, everything. Everything that TNT makes is what I have.
Nice.
So do you ride for TNT?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I picked up my factory TNT at 2019 Grands, which was my first Grands.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So right before COVID, did you want to go the next year? Did they have Grands 2020?
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They did.
All right.
So I made Cruiser Main in 2019 and then Cruiser Main in 2020.
Okay.
So you're riding both classes?
Yes.
And so you're riding, both classes this year also then?
Yeah. Our cruiser class has been a little odd, 21-30 women's. Class is still kind of similar numbers to previous years, but cruiser's gotten really small. So I actually didn't race cruiser. I raced it on Friday at Rock Hill at the beginning of the year just to kind of have some fun, loosen up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't. I don't know that I've raced it since that race.
So do you hear any of the names that you used to hear like from like 10, 15 years ago, like girls you used to race that might still race?
No, and I may just not really remember them.
Okay.
I know when I was looking back at my old results, it's pretty cool. You can see in your trophy room, you can see what place you got, but then you can click it and get into the results from the whole race.
Oh.
So I don't remember really, but I had raced Felicia Stansel. I know that was one of them.
Okay.
That's cool.
Definitely got beat.
She was fast then, huh?
Oh yeah.
Where is she from?
I don't really know.
I just always think like all the fast people are from the West Coast. Every time I hear somebody's fast, I'm like, they're probably from Cali. I mean, besides Everett, but like usually it's like from the West Coast, they're fast. Washington, Oregon, but besides Everett though.
Of course.
Yeah. So do you work on your own bike at all, or do you have a mechanic that works on your bike? Or
I can do small stuff, but as far as building up frames and doing kind of complicated stuff, my husband does most of it. But if we're at a track, anyone that's willing to do it for me, please help.
Oh, so he's a bike. Does he ride also?
Yeah, he grew up racing BMX also. Those I think behind me are his trophies.
Okay.
Nice.
And mine are on the other side. So he grew up racing, but kind of teenage years, early 20s, kind of got off the 20-inch race bike and started riding a mountain bike. And then ended up on a 26 dirt jumper. and he has a ton of fun jumping and just playing around.
Oh,
so he never raced mountain bikes or like any dirt jump competitions or anything like that?
Not super formally. A couple local ones, kind of, Raleigh area. I think there's some races at like Umstead Park.
Just to have fun.
Yeah.
So what made him decide to quit racing? Was it an injury or was it just he just got lost interest?
Yeah, I think so. He's figured out how to have fun on the bike without the competition and the stress and the training and the traveling.
Good for him.
Right.
Yeah.
And I need to talk to him because
I know.
So since you've been racing since you were 7, did you ever take a break or have you been just 7 till now?
Yeah, I never really took a break.
Wow.
Definitely had some slower years. I know like the year I graduated high school and the year I graduated college, definitely didn't race as much.
But you had a membership every year for the last 20 years.
Yep.
Whoa.
So was there, within that 20 years, was there ever a time that you wanted to quit?
No, not that I can remember.
Wow.
So you might have just slowed down and then that's cool.
Yeah. And it probably helps that we didn't travel a ton to nationals and we weren't chasing series and chasing points and really stressing about it. I didn't train or take anything really serious until 2019.
So were your parents just kind of following your lead, like and not pressing you, just like cool, very cool.
Yep.
I've seen parents burn kids out, and it's sad, because the kids really want to ride, and here comes the parent, that they probably used to ride and they weren't so good, maybe, or who knows what the deal is, but they push their kid into just quitting,
Yep.
Now my big question is, did you ever get faster than your brother, or were you always faster than your brother?
Oh, I can't wait for him to see this part. I can now, because he rarely rides, I can take him down the first straight.
Nice.
And then that's all I got. He comes back and races some, and then we'll end up in the same class. Out the first turn, I put him into the grass out of the first turn one Friday.
Does he still ride at all?
Some. Yep.
Okay. His BMX bike or other bikes?
Yeah, BMX bike.
Oh, really?
Yep.
What kind of, does he have a newer style bike or like an older bike that he used to ride?
No, he actually has my DK that I was on before TNT.
Okay. So a newer style BMX then. Cool.
Yep.
So you there was a national there, I believe it was last year. Did he go to it?
He raced on Sunday. He actually raced my bike on Sunday. For some reason, we were sharing bikes. So he was just hanging out. I think he might have had to work Friday, and then he was hanging out, and his kids were there Saturday. So then he raced Sunday. And I don't remember if he made the main. I know we wrecked one round because we were saying it was my bike's fault because I wrecked Saturday. And then he wrecked my bike in the same turn on Sunday.
Are you going to get to Oklahoma in time for their practice on Wednesday?
Yes. Yep. I'll be there Tuesday afternoon.
Good. So you'll hit, I think, the morning because the cruiser is probably in the morning, right? Like early, probably, yes. I think. Yeah.
17 and over women's cruiser is, I think it's 17. I don't remember. 7:30 in the morning on Wednesday.
Yeah. I remember it was early. It's like, because I borrowed somebody's cruiser, a female cruiser. So, but I know they went early in the morning.
Yes.
And I grabbed their cruiser just to do some laps. I didn't race cruiser, but just to get some extra laps in. So, do you do open also?
I'll kind of randomly jump in open. I won't for grands. Especially this year since I haven't been racing the cruiser at nationals. If I feel like I need some more track time, have a little fun. So I've raced a couple opens this past year.
So at a national or at grands, would you ever just say you come out the gate and you're like way in front of everybody, or the majority of the people just say that you're in a transfer spot? Would you ever give up that transfer spot to get another lap? Like, would you play that game?
No.
I've seen people play that game and lose.
Yeah, no, I would not.
Even at grands, it's like, what are you doing, man?
No, you never know what's going to happen out there. Your bike could fall apart the next lap. You're not going to make it to the finish line. If you're in a qualifying position, you just need to go.
Are you oh, go ahead.
I
was gonna say, how are you on dirt turns? Are you comfortable on dirt turns? Have you had enough experience?
They're all right.
Okay.
As long as you don't do anything crazy, you can ride them pretty much like you ride regular ones.
Okay.
You know what I found out, and this is for me personally. If I stare at my front tire as I'm going through the turn, it's less scary for me for some reason. So, like, literally, I just look at my tire and I'm just like, wee.
Do you say wee?
In my head, I'm pretty sure I probably do. Because I know I used to be like on the turn, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't want to. And then, but now, like, I look at the tire and I'm just like, okay. I have no clue when that started, but I noticed it a couple of races ago on my turns.
Oh, got so big.
Wait, was that the one that you, I think
yes.
you found one or?
I bottle fed this thing.
Yeah. Nice.
How big so quick. Wow.
Yes.
I mean, that little thing was in the palm of a hand at one point.
Right?
Like, just tiny. Oh, man. Wow. Very cool.
What was your worst crash?
Between two of them, probably both at Burlington, unfortunately. Actually posted this clip because it makes me laugh. Posted it last week or so. I was actually trying to race my brother. We were at a practice during COVID. We could the city wasn't really letting Burlington open up to full capacity, so we were doing little private sessions, private rentals, pretty much. It was me and my brother and just a couple friends, and we were on lap 2 or 3 of us racing into the turn, and my clip came out, and it sent my foot to the ground and my head and my shoulder to the ground, and actually didn't know I separated my shoulder. So I raced Rock Hill the next weekend.
Jeez.
And wrecked on it again.
Oh, gee. I'm about to say warrior right there, and then wrecked it again.
I guess that one could have done the separating. We don't really know.
Right?
You know what though? We always hear these stories from the women that we interview. Remember, like, oh yeah, I had a broken wrist, but I just wrapped it up, went to a national and raced it. I'm like, the guys are like, I broke my wrist, I was out, bro. I'm done. It's like,
right.
It's always the females, like, yeah, I just took some ibuprofen and just hit the gate and I was fine. It's like, what?
Pop some Skittles and just kept it moving.
Yep. What are you doing?
Jeez.
So with grants, when do you start prepping for it? Like you're training for it? You do it like a month before, 2 months before?
So I guess this year I haven't trained at all. But previous years, I mean, we pretty much trained all year. There's. Okay.
So it's not. So you check it like any other race. It's nothing like you're like, all right, we got to do something special. Let's add some extra sets of these, or
no, probably not.
Focus on that.
It may be more of a, hey, I'm not skipping sessions. We've done sprints it hasn't been very cold this fall here in North Carolina, but we've sprinted in 30 or 40 degrees and we're like, why are we doing this? But Grains is coming.
Right.
Not skipping any sessions.
And you feel the results of when you train and, I'm sure. Opposed to when you don't, and then you just try to hit a national and ride. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing out here? Because I've been both. Like there was times I just went out there like and just kind of just had bad laps. And then there's times I was really on it. Just every day, every night, just riding my bike. But so yeah, I get it.
What's your favorite track?
Burlington.
Okay, what's your second favorite track?
Bad question.
I had a lot of fun at Nova this summer. That was a good one. I like that. Maybe because of riding Burlington so much, those I don't know, they're similar styles. I don't I don't love the Rock Hill styles. I don't love the indoor tracks. Like the kind of what I would consider normal, but
Okay. What would you say out of all the tracks you've raced, which one was the most difficult or technical?
South Park can be a little technical.
And where's South Park at?
Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh?
Okay.
Is that right?
Is that where they have the stars and stripes?
Most years. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've heard about that track.
Yeah. And it
I had a
rains.
friend.
Yeah, there was the last couple times I watched it, it's been raining.
I had a friend crush his hand on that track, man, and it's like he
Oh.
still doesn't have like his full mobility of his hand to this day. And that happened
man.
probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago,
Mm.
on that one big monster jump that they have. I forgot some. I think second straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That straight is
I've seen a few people.
fast.
Are you gonna practice at the new track over there when you get a chance?
I don't know.
In Grants, where Grants is at?
I also heard there. Can you guys hear my cat?
No.
No? Okay.
Just a little bit.
I heard they're racing Friday.
Really?
Harvesting?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
During the pro spectacular, maybe like the people that not going to that could race the harvesting.
Pro spectacular. That's Saturday.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Friday for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I didn't fact check it. I don't know that I'll go over there. I've heard people saying that it's going to be very busy because they're doing open practices Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to make my way over there, and they're doing they're offering TOs a little tour of the whole facility kind of thing and get to meet
very cool.
Staff. Yeah.
Very cool.
I think I'll go over there and do that. But I don't know that I'll ride. I'll see. If my roommates are, maybe I will. I could be convinced.
Also, you gotta be careful because Shannon, you want to tell me a story about what happened to your buddy last year?
Yeah, an older guy my age that had a son around 13. He signed up to race, for the Rock and Grands, and he went over to Harvesty, I guess the Wednesday, crashed and couldn't race Rock or Grands for the weekend.
Yeah,
he was bummed out.
That would be that's definitely my hesitation.
I mean, he was training. He said he wasn't going that hard. He said it was just that track is just is something different, So, yeah. I wanted to ride it when I was leaving, but that didn't happen. But that track looks kind of crazy. Definitely. Yeah. So you ready? Once again.
Are you ready? So when it comes to clipping in, obviously you're 7, you can't clip in right away at that time frame, or could you?
Yes, you could. I am the generation that is the reason for those rules. I cannot ride flats. Wow. I can do pump tracks and flats because I'm not moving my feet. But other than that, I cannot ride flats to save my life.
Because you never had to ride flats.
I did.
The way everything.
Right. Yeah, not like they do now. I didn't.
Yeah.
You got them whatever you wanted to. There was no rules at all. So I remember there were little kids whose dad was clipping them in and out.
Holding them up.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
Yep.
Right.
There were kids that could not get themselves in and out of their clips.
So on the track, they would just fall and lay there with their bike connected to them, right?
Just sitting sideways.
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those. I was probably 9 or 10 when I got on them.
Okay.
I just felt bad for the kids, and I understood what the parents were saying. Like, that had kids that were riding clips for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then they were told their kids couldn't ride clips anymore. They had to go to flats. They were really upset.
Wasn't there like a warning?
I think
was
so, but
coming.
still, that day came where they couldn't ride clips anymore, and that was it. They were right back on flats. And some kids, they probably started on clips, some of them,
Yeah.
even at an early age, and just that's all they knew. And then to go on flats, just kind of wonder how many kids were like pulling their feet off the pedals and just kind of just, trying to get used to flats now, after only knowing clips. It's kind of crazy.
I got a wild one. Is so the term track champion, is that like a legit thing?
It depends. And Burlington has changed the format of it a few times over the years. When I was young, they gave a track champion out to every class, or at least every age.
Okay.
So me being the only, because those are the girls I mentioned, we were like a year apart.
Mhm.
So there were 3 girls, but we would all 3 be track champion.
Nice.
Because we didn't have anyone else in our class.
Right. But what was, so I was gonna say, so when there was those, what was it based off of? Just total races or
It's
wins,
like
or?
it depends on the track, and I don't really know how they did it then, but I know now that we pull essentially your district points that you earned only at our track.
Okay.
So a few years ago, the management team at Burlington changed it to we just do 1 girl track champion, 1 boy track champion, 1 cruiser, and 1 girl cruiser.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. And I've been printing out the tally of the points the last few months, and it's cool to see the kids. They know, like,
Right.
I can't miss a Friday because I'm winning right now. So I'm leading,
Right.
and I'm gonna stay in the lead.
I never thought about that part of it. That's like an incentive for a kid to just keep showing up. And
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: it's what was like the biggest surprise for you becoming the TO? I mean, you've been around the track for a long time.
Right.
That wasn't in the plans then.
It wasn't in the plans. I don't know.
I mean, you've been around the track for so long. I'm sure you've seen what goes on, but not, doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So what was just like what blew your mind?
Yeah, my mom did concessions, and my dad did the on track stuff. And over the years, I've helped with the on track stuff. So I had never done anything in registration. So registration, entering scores, communicating with USA BMX, all of that is new.
Wow.
And it definitely gives you an appreciation.
That's pretty cool. Like to do all that, like I mean, you don't want to say on the fly, but at the same time, like that's pretty much what it was. Like you just boom.
Yeah.
I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but what's it going to take for that last table at your track to be named Everett's Table?
Are you going to jump it?
That's the point. That's the plan.
So I have to...
who has to see me jump it though?
Me.
I mean, I have to be there for that. I mean, I don't have to see it officially, but I'm going to be there.
Maybe we need to live feed it.
Oh gosh, no.
Hey, I don't think I've cleared it either.
It looks so tempting, and I'm like, you know what? It's the last jump. You might as well, if you can, just pull up. Just pull up.
Yeah. It's a little long.
To see the announcer now coming over Everett's Table. We got
There it is.
No, we're not doing that. Who the hell is Everett, bro?
Shannon, do you know that when we announced that we were rebuilding, Everett was like, last straight table.
I need it.
And I was like, there already is a table.
Right? But I didn't know if you were going to take it away or just, do something different with this. I was like, that's our table.
No, that's something I think Burlington has kind of always had. The last straight has always been little jumps, like learning jumps.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the kids.
Those are little. Wow.
Smaller than the rest of the track. They are a bit bigger than I pictured. I wasn't there the day they were building those.
So how many versions of that track have you seen since you've been going there? Do you know?
I don't remember. The last big rebuild was 2017.
Okay.
And before that, I don't remember. I don't know if we may not have had big rebuilds. We may have changed a jump at a time, maybe. Maybe
Okay.
that's why I don't really remember the evolution of it.
But as far as the layout was like the starting hill always where it was at and the
Yes.
finish line kind of
Yep.
always where it was at. All right.
Yep.
And just obstacles in between would change. I
Yeah.
mean, so those were they dirt jumps when you started? I mean, I'm sorry, dirt turns?
No, they've been paved
Were
for
they-
years.
Oh,
Yeah.
so they were asphalt when you came for the first time. Like, all right. Okay.
Nice.
They've been repaved and reshaped a few times over the years, but they've always been paved.
Does the city support that track at all? Or?
Yes. City helps us a lot on big projects. The day-to-day operations we're responsible for. So
Okay.
we're 100% volunteer run. But the city contributes financially mostly to big projects and some things that need to be done. The city is like, we got you.
Oh, nice.
Because of the location, right? Being in the park.
Yes. Yep. The
Okay.
land is city owned.
So also being in the park, that you have to deal with park stuff, right? Public coming through, you know, and have you seen
Baseball
anything
field.
crazy over there? Or just average
This
park stuff?
winter, we cover the track over the winter.
Mhm.
And it had poured rain, and the tarps aren't 100% waterproof, so I knew the track was soaking wet. I check in on the cameras. Grown man, beach cruiser,
Oh,
rode the track on top of the tarps.
jeez. I thought you were gonna say slip and slide like in the rain. It was just going-
Yeah, it was hoping for it.
That's what I was thinking. It was like tarps, so it just made sense if it's raining.
And he rode the bike on top of the tarps.
Wow.
What
Wow.
a jerk.
I
The
know.
disrespect.
So I mean,
know.
obviously he hopped the fence to do that
Yeah.
because there's fences around the track. So
Yeah.
he took a beach
I,
cruiser and hopped over a fence. I would love to have seen just that part of it. But go ahead.
I know. He put some work in.
Yeah.
No, we definitely get some foot traffic from the people that pass through the park. It's not the best neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we've had the break-ins and stuff when I was young. I remember being very bad. Very often, but over the years we've figured out how to reinforce all the doors and everything. So there's 2 locks on every door and window, at least 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're
That's
pretty
I mean, that's-
safe on that side of it now, but we can't keep people off the track itself. I have signs, we have cameras, but they still do it.
Yeah.
As a TO, do you talk to other TOs in North Carolina?
Yeah. I also talked to the old ones, the previous ones.
Okay.
Good friends with James Holder. He was the track operator before Paul. Have always been friends with James, so that was a natural just shift in communication for our, friendship, but he's definitely helped a lot.
That makes things a lot easier. Oh
yeah.
my God. Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
That's pretty cool because I wasn't sure like if it was something where everybody's like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you anything because you might take all my people. So good luck though, so I just didn't know if that's how the vibe was in any state, So I was like, let me just ask.
It's probably possible out there. I mean,
Right.
I don't think North Carolina. I think we're all pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
So was it just like a voting process? So do you have to like take classes to be a TO, or how does that work? Does USA BMX need to know that you are qualified to be a TO, or?
I think there was I know there was a form that Paul had to sign off on and I had to sign off on, so he had to acknowledge that I was capable of taking over, essentially.
Okay, that's how it works. All right.
Yeah. But as far as the Burlington, the local board in the process, we posted asking for nominations. There were none. My friend Ashley put my name. I was like, well, yes, my name's already in there, but thank you for officially nominating me.
There we go. There we go.
We had a public meeting. Nearly no one came to.
Sounds about right.
So that's when I was voted in. With no competition.
I don't know why I'm hearing like sad music behind this right now. Like, it's like this is a sad story or something. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's not a sad story, but it's just like, I don't know. Anyway,
it was shocking, but
I'm sure.
it's all good.
Yeah.
With your national prep, what does your eating consist of on the day of the races? Are you like a light eater, a heavy eater?
I'm a very light eater. I'm a granola bar, maybe 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. More people I talk to that are like really competitive with it. That's what they do. I'm over there with like the double cheeseburger and nachos.
Yeah. The thing is, not everybody can do that.
I mean, my body's at like peak optimum size. Yeah. Like I just,
absolutely,
I'm built for this, so I can do what they can't do. So
I've seen it.
Yep.
First, let me tell the story real quick. The first time I went to a major race with this guy, he was like, "We're gonna go for the gold, bro. We're going to go Gold Cup." I didn't even know what really Gold Cup was and what it was about. Like, I didn't do Gold Cup when I was a kid. So we get all the way to Georgia. It's like a 5.5, 6 hour ride. Get out the car. Everybody's getting dressed. I'm like, "Come on, bro. Let's do some practice laps." He was like, "I don't practice, bro." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Nah, man, just my first lap is my practice lap. That's, that's how I do it." And I'm like, "Stop playing. Come on, get your gear on. We need to practice, man." This dude was dead serious. He sat down.
Yeah. My the first race I went to with Ashley, we were pulling into the hotel at like midnight on Friday or Thursday night. And I was like, "What time do you want to leave to get to practice?" And she was like, "You practice?" I was like, "You don't?"
Right?
How could you not practice?
I always just feel like more time on the track just means more time that you can get hurt. So I don't want those numbers to change. So I'm like, because I've seen.
But are you really going? I don't mean to like Dr. Phil you here, but are you really going 100% on your first lap then?
Oh no, I'm just seeing who I can pick off.
Why don't you do that in practice?
No, because sometimes like I've done a few practices before, and I've seen people decide for some reason that they want to try to manual something or do something different that they don't normally do. Yeah. And that's how people end up getting hurt because you're pedaling down, doing your thing, and he decides he wants to, let me see if I can jump this real quick, and he doesn't normally jump or something. So I was like, I need to get away from these people.
So do you do open?
No. I tried I tried at the last national. At Rock Hill. I think I tried at Rock Hill. And I thought for sure I was gonna make mains. I'm like, all right, ain't nobody really trying open. Let me get out there. Man, these guys came out the gate flying. I said, I just spent all this money for nothing. I shouldn't even have signed up for this crap. Like, I was heated. Like, my girl was just like, what in the world? I was like, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I got more laps out there, but it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be.
You could have done practice for free.
I know, right? Like, geez, because my buddy Ed's always like, "Come on, Edward, just get out there and do opens with me." And I'm like, "We're gonna make mains." And I'm just like, I watch him and I'm like, "He always makes mains." I'm like, all right, okay, well, I'm gonna go follow Ed and he didn't come that race, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go out there and just have a good time and I'll make mains. Finally, I'll just at least I get a trophy today. And yeah, right. They just didn't work out for me. So
but that's how all the older guys get hurt, right? They go to a national. I mean, you got like, I don't know, a gate of 8 old guys. Nobody really practiced. The gate goes down and you're going full blast down Rock Hills Hill. It's like, that's not safe, man.
Right.
It's just not safe, bro.
I mean, honestly, like I honestly feel, and this is just my opinion, not anybody else's, but I honestly feel like when I look at grands, you got the guys who probably should be up a level and they're not, and they're just waiting for that moment, to go to grands to get it. And then you got the guy who is right there, where he should be, but barely there. And because the guy in front of him is trying so much harder, he's like, I got to give it my all, and steps out of his skill range. And that's when it gets nasty.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's enjoyable to watch.
But oh, man, listen. When I watch Grands, when I go back to watch the Grands, that is the first class I look for is 4650 novice because it's some of the funniest shit you've ever seen in your life. I swear to God. Oh man.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy. So I'll go ahead.
I don't remember what the age was, but I was in the stands at Rock Hill watching novices, and one of the 30 to 40s ish, there was a wreck on the first straight, there was a wreck on the third straight. The guy that started the race in like 6th ended up winning. I was like, this is great.
Right? Been out there.
I've seen those dudes wreck twice in the same moto, man. Like,
I've seen that too. I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. But like I said, it's all about the fun and everything. And people are like, oh my God, I can't believe you do this. And I'm like, I didn't say I was winning or anything, but I'm out there having fun.
Yeah.
Like, and they're just like, that's pretty cool. So
around corners saying we
while looking straight at his front wheel.
Watch next time you see me race, you're gonna be watching my helmet go.
Why would you look forward?
Just on the turn. I just look at my front turn and just follow it.
So let's go back to racing. So when you're on the gate, do you listen for the beep or do you watch the light?
I do listen for the beep.
Have you ever watched the light?
I did, or I tried it. My reaction time is chronically horrible. So I've tried the light to see if that would make it better. It didn't make it better. It just made me like I'm not as comfortable standing looking up. So I'm more comfortable looking down, listening, just like Everett in the corner. Mm-hmm. Listening for the beep. And then I go eventually.
Right.
So when you start, is your head down and then a couple of cranks into it, you start bringing your head up and seeing what's going on and where you're at?
Yep.
Well, and can you hear what's going on during the race? Can you hear like hubs? Can you hear like other people riding? Do you hear the announcer? Do you hear the crowd?
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
Probably not the hubs, which it may, I'm probably the one with the loudest hubs out there. Everybody has the Onyx. But I do kind of listen to the announcer, unless maybe it's in close, intense race. I might kind of tune it out. But I do think I'm definitely a listener.
One of the things that Shannon was talking about too with listening for is you can listen to the announcer and know how close they are to you.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool because you're just like, all right, you have to look like to see where they are. They'll just say something and you're just like, there he is.
Yeah, if they're in your hip pocket, like, oh man, bro. But
on the flip side of that, when you're the one in the hip pocket, it's motivating.
Right.
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
But now he just told the guy in front of you where you are. It's like, shut up.
I mean, sometimes
I hope they're not listening.
Right. Well, some races I'm out there, and if I'm like that close to them from behind, I'm like, you better get up. I'm coming to get you. And I tell them that, and I'm right behind them. Or that like with my buddy Jeff, we were racing, and I'd just be like, either move or move to the side.
Yep.
That's Everett's favorite line. I'm coming up the back.
I think the girls' class is kind of known for talking to each other or screaming.
Yeah, it's pretty cool watching them go at it out there too. Like, it's pretty cool. I mean, I like watching all ages go. I know I've come to enjoy the 17 to 20 class a lot, women and men's, because you can just see how hard they're pushing themselves and and whether or not they're going to step it up and go pro or whether they're just, trying to figure it out or whatever. But man, if you're not ready for that class and expert, that's going to take some time.
Yep.
Was there ever a time where you thought you wanted to become a pro, possibly?
At some point when I was little, but kind of the age where you also want to be an astronaut.
Gotcha.
But no, not once I got to the age to become pro. No. And also as a girl, and it's gotten better, but there's not a girl pro class unless it's a big pro race. and there's not as many of those around.
Hmm.
So you would have to travel further.
Right.
Do you have a favorite female pro rider that you like to watch?
Big fan of Elise. Definitely on Team Elise.
I'm like
she's
not
killing
on
it.
her team, and I like always want her to lose for some reason, just
What?
because she always wins. So I just always want somebody else to kind of come up and like
What?
Peyton Ridenhour or somebody else that's been
Yeah.
working really
I
hard.
can't wait for
Yeah.
that.
It's like
Or
I just want them
something,
to beat her. It's just like beat her, man. You know, it's just
Yeah, it is. It
can't-
has been cool in the last few years. Those girls, Peyton, and the other ones around her age, they've
they stepped up definitely.
yeah. Oh, I don't dislike the other girls, but man, Elise is like Michael Jordan. Like
Yeah,
I
she's
know.
she's
know.
got
Yes.
the
She's got
she's
the
the
rings.
queen.
She's got the rings.
Yeah.
She just always comes out. She never disappoints, man. She's
Yep.
like so consistent. It's just never
Yeah.
fails. She's always in front. It's like, here she goes again. Come on,
Yep.
where the other girls at? You know, just beat her, man. For once, just beat her once. I'm like that with everybody that's on top. It's like, come on, somebody else take the crown, you know. Let's make this like fun, you know, make it exciting.
Gotta earn it, right? Gotta earn it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, Everett, I think, pointed her out to me at the Dixieland National, one of the first years I came back, you know. And she was turned around. I think she had like a tank top, you know, racer back, I guess they call them. And she was cut up. I mean, she's short, but she was like stocky, man. I was like, what? Like, damn.
Watch her out there and get it. Yeah, I'm like, watch her get out there and get it.
Yep.
I looked down at her legs and they was just like, oh my God, man. Holy crap. That's why they're so fast. Because I didn't realize a lot of them are really short. Like, you know, some of those riders, they're 5'2", 5'3", and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, 120 pounds but smoking fast though.
Yep.
You know, it's just like, how? You know, like,
yeah.
Where does all that power come from? You know, especially Colby. I'm a fan of Alexis Colby. Like, I love the way she's riding, and I think she's like progressed in the last maybe even year. It's just me paying attention. You know, and she's super small. I think she's only 5'2" and 120 pounds. You know, something crazy.
Okay.
So, but yeah,
I didn't know she was that small.
Yeah.
But Carly's very small.
Yeah.
Very small.
But then you look at some of the pro guys, and it's like they're total opposite. These guys are freaking huge.
Yeah.
You know, so
I can't wait for like next season because I think JC Moore and Gracia Christodoulou are both gonna probably go pros. What I'm thinking they're gonna do next season.
Okay.
And that's gonna shake it up a little bit more because, you know, like you said, it's just the women's class is, you know, your standard. What was about 15 of them, 15 solid riders.
Probably.
So versus you go out there and you watch the guys, and there'll be like 34 of them. You know. So the more the merrier for that one. As far as watching the women go out there and do it.
Are you going to Worlds?
Probably not. My class is odd. I'm gonna quote it wrong, but it's something like 25 and over.
So yeah, mine's 31 and over.
Yeah. And then the cruiser class, and I might have that backwards, cruiser class is like 17 to 30 or something odd. Neither of those age groups benefit me.
I think men's is 35 and up, or is it 31 and up or 35 and up?
31.
All right. And that's crazy as an older guy. Just say if you're 51, you know, you're not going to want to race a 31-year-old guy.
Yeah.
But then I've seen guys that are older hop on a cruiser, and I think there's a 50 and up class for men for cruiser.
Okay.
You know, but then I've seen some of the top cruiser guys from the States go over there and get crushed. And I was like, what is going on, yo? Like, I know how fast he is, and he's not even making it. How fast are these other guys, you know? And then you see those tracks that they're riding on, and it's like, holy crap, man.
Yeah.
Would you want to ride one of those tracks?
I don't know, because I don't even love like Rock Hill. I mean, I would, given the opportunity, I wouldn't not. But it's not like a bucket list.
That's why I feel like you should try to do Harvesty if you can, just to say you wrote it, and just because it's going to be around for a while, you know, it's crazy looking track, man. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And so you never been to the headquarters then before?
So because I didn't go last year and it wasn't open the year before.
Okay.
So I'll
you're
get
gonna
to check
enjoy that.
that
It's
out this
really
year.
cool. Oh yeah. Yep.
Cool.
And how are you getting out there?
Okay.
Flying.
Okay.
Yep.
Very cool.
Flying and then hitchhiking once I'm there. I don't have a rental car.
And you're flying back?
Yes.
And so where are you going to put the big trophy? With your bike? Whoever's got your bike is going to have your big trophy?
Yeah, it's going to ride shotgun with Dustin. Next to his, of course.
Of course. I think they're going to do good. They're going to do well this year.
Yeah, I look forward to rooting all you guys on, man. You know, it's gonna be cool. And the more I'm into BMX, the more people I meet, and then now so I have more people to root for. You know, it's like in every moto I see somebody I hear somebody I know, like, oh shit, I know them.
Yep.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So did they put the track layout out yet? Or just kind of tease with some pictures? Like,
I think they're just teasing it and then they're posting pictures as they build it.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was an official track layout yet and that everybody could see.
So.
All right.
I felt like they just prolonged because they like to make Dustin was it Dustin Jacobs squirm a little bit.
Yeah.
With his post every day of something new, like we're gonna enjoy that.
Yeah, that's funny, man. I was like, what is this guy doing, man?
I think they're just messing with us now at this point.
Right. What's your Saturday night? Nationals are over. You go out to dinner. What are you eating?
I don't know.
Because from what I've seen, like with the pros and the other riders, they're like pasta.
Yeah.
They all, for some reason, want something heavy like pasta.
Yeah. And especially because I don't eat during the day very much.
Right.
So I do probably end up eating a lot for dinner.
So come Thursday, first moto, you go out and you transfer.
So I'm not doing rock.
Oh, you're not doing rock. All right. So Saturday, you go, you transfer first moto. What are you doing for the rest of your day?
Probably going back to the Airbnb.
So you wouldn't just hang out and walk around all day and burn your legs
I will.
out?
Probably not all day, since just because the house is so close. Previous years I've been in a hotel across town, so I have stayed at the arena pretty much the whole time. But I am kind of looking forward to a place to go to have some quiet
and not breathe in that dust and all that dirt.
I've also gotten the Grand's flu very badly, so I've bought my stock of vitamin C today.
Very good.
I think I'll try to escape the arena for that reason as well.
Great idea, honestly. Yeah. I mean, and also, man, because I've seen people getting taken out by little kids on scooters.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a kid get hit and he had to get his ankle bandaged up because he was bleeding. It's
no.
Jeez, dude just got taken out by a Razor scooter, you know. So I don't know how it was when you went last time, but last year was absolutely bananas.
Yep.
And they were selling the scooters there, and everybody had one, and these kids were coming at it everywhere. Just oh my God. So you had to have your head on the swivel at all times because the kids were hitting your bikes. This one kid slid up under the tent, into the tent, like up under the side piece of the tent, under the tent, into our tent. So I'm just sitting there, some kid just slides into the tent, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on, bro? Oh, I'm sorry. He picks the scooter up and then jets out. And I'm like, what is going on here, man? But
it's a madhouse. It's
it
awesome, though. Everett, you should go.
I was just